Hey and welcome to another episode of my knitting podcast. My name is Stina. I'm coming to you from a town called Gothenburg in Sweden. And today I have one finished object, some whips, and also I'm gonna go through some acquisitions and future plans. So last episode I showed you guys that I was almost finished with my Levitate Wrap by My Favorite Things Knitwear, and I'm very pleased with myself because I have actually finished it. Even though the double knitting edging was quite painful to do with the yarn that I'm using, and it took a lot of time, as double knitting do. But yeah, I finished it and I'm actually quite proud of myself that I did that. As I thought, it's such a warm cardigan. I don't think that I will be able to use it this season. I will probably have to wait for next winter, but that's okay. It happens. I have it, I have the finished object, and I have it right here. I do have, it's probably not super neat looking on a hanger, but I do have some video clips of me trying it on that I will show you, and perhaps a picture as well. I finally finished it. The only thing I have left is that I have not put a button here to secure like the inner flap of the wrap. This is hanging loose, but with this fabric that I have gotten, I don't think that I will need any buttons actually. As I mentioned the last time, this is made from a carpenter yarn that I have on a big cone that is 100% wool, and then I have 2 strands of brushed alpaca silk in the color gray. So it's a quite dense fabric, quite heavy. And the one thing, if I were to do this again, I would probably use another yarn, because the yarn that I have on my cone, it has no stretch at all. It's okay. The fabric is still pretty nice when we have the brushed alpaca with it. I like the marled effect that you get when you pair 2 colors together. I think the contrast is just enough. But yeah, it was a bit rough on my hands doing the double knitting with the yarn that has no stretch at all. One thing that I modified when I did this was that I knitted the back piece quite a bit longer before I joined for the arms. I should have probably been fine if I just trusted the process, but it said like knit to X amount of centimeters and then join with your front pieces on the arms, and it was just such a tiny bit for the back. I felt like this will never be enough, so yeah, I did it a bit longer. Therefore I think I got a bit of a longer back piece than perhaps other people get. I like the length of where the cardigan is hitting me when I wear it. It's perfect with high-waisted pants, but I do also enjoy that it is a bit longer on the back. So that was the only modification that I did. The pattern gives you the option to follow a regular sleeve that she also mentions will be a very long sleeve, and the option for a bit of a shorter sleeve. I follow the shorter sleeve option, but I still think that they are way too long. So that is probably something that I will have to be a bit more careful about if I do this again. Otherwise, I'm pleased with it. Next up are my whips and my work in progress. So for this week I have mainly focused on the Levitate Wrap to get that finished. I have also done some work on my musselburgh hat. I don't know if you can see the whole tube. it's getting there. I don't feel any hurry to finish this. I just feel happy to have one of those, you know, easy knits that I can use. I can take with me easy because it's so small, or I can use when perhaps we have an off-camera meeting at work or something like that. So I'm just happy to have this project and not in a hurry to finish it really. But I think it will be done soon. Working with a yarn that is called Freja, Freja Fluff, and it is like a thick mohair yarn, and instead of silk the core is made from acrylic, so it's a much thicker yarn than regular mohair. I choose this because of the color, not because I love mohair, but I talked a bit that last time, so I'm not going to do it all over again. That's my first work in progress. The second one is the Nomad jacket by Wool & Beyond. Last week when I showed you this, I had just like a small little flap here on the front piece, and now this first front piece is almost finished. I have started to do decreases to round off the bottom, but I do have some to go still. But the left first piece is almost finished. But as I talked about the last time, I was thinking about frogging and do the back piece all over again. And I have decided that I will do that, both because since this fabric doesn't get a lot of stretch due to the yarn, it's the same carpeting yarn on the comb, I think I need to pick up more stitches here from the double knitted back edge to the I-cord and to the back piece. I pretty much follow the instructions. I did pick up a few more stitches than that was stated, but it just doesn't look very good. And also I decided that I want the piece before it starts rounding off. I want the straight pieces to be a bit longer. I feel like I will feel more comfortable wearing it if it's just a bit longer. So yeah, I got quite a bit progress on the front piece, but I still have to frog this whole back piece. So yeah, one step forward, 2 steps backwards, but I'm very excited about the plans that I have to dye it. I'm excited about the plans to buy some lining fabric and sew on some lining to it. So yeah, this will hopefully get some more love in the week to come, and soon I perhaps can see the light in the end of the tunnel with the knitting of this project. And that's actually the things that I have been working on this week. As I said, a lot of focus went on to the Levitate Wrap. Then I have done a bit on my Nomad jacket. That is a cross between the Nomad jacket and the Double Trouble Kids jacket from Wool & Beyond. And the musselburgh hat. Just some rows here and there. Up next, I wanted to talk a bit about some acquisitions. And these aren't new yarn since the last time I filmed, but I didn't want to talk about every new yarn that I had in my last episode, so I saved some for this one. It was actually some weeks ago that I got this yarn delivered, but I am very excited about the plans that I have for them, so I thought let's talk about it. I have pretty much ordered the same yarn, not exactly but almost the same yarn in 3 different colors. So this one is called Hjertegarn Denmark. It is the all seasons, so it's 50% wool superwash extra fine merino and 50% cotton. and this is a quite thin yarn. This is 50 grams and you get about 170 meters. It's very soft to the touch. It is this very nice like neutral white or undyed color. So with this one I'm planning to do a vest. Actually something perhaps quite similar to what I'm wearing today. This is a vest that I crocheted last summer, and I can insert a picture so you will see what it looks like when I stand up. And it's actually quite funny because when I did this one I was in a phase where I wanted all my crochet pieces to look like they were knitted. Not that I could not knit, I just thought at the time that it was more fun to crochet. And also I have never really been a person to enjoy to follow patterns and needing to like keep track on where I am and how someone else have been thinking about something. So I wanted to always just come up with my own ideas. I saw something in the store or saw someone wear something and that got me inspired, and I was always thinking like I can do that. And I find that way easier with crochet than with knitting. Anyhow, back to the topic. I have a vest quantity of these ones. Then I ordered a sweater quantity of both these, and they are also Hjertegarn, a Danish brand. It's also a mix 50-50 between merino superwash and cotton. The difference is that these are a bit thicker. So with 50 grams you get about 120 meters instead of 170. The grey color is 434 and the black is 500. So the plans that I have for these are actually very simple, but I'm still very excited about it. When I'm not sitting in meetings or at work or filming, my everyday armor is like a sweatshirt. I live in sweatshirts all the time, every day, all year around. And I was thinking that I wanted to knit some sweaters, like the crew neck usual sweaters, but when they are knitted they will look a bit more dressed up and perhaps not as slouchy. And that's also the reason why I choose the 50-50 yarn, because I want to be able to use these sweaters all year around. So my plan for these are actually to come up with my own pattern. Not because of it, not because it's a shortage of sweater patterns out there, but I just feel like with all the patterns I'm looking at, there is something that I would like to change, and perhaps I'm not able to meet the gauge of those patterns, or yeah, I don't know. It's always something that I feel like, oh, but yeah, this is very pretty, but I would like it to be a little bit more like that. And I'm also planning to not pair these with anything else. I'm not using any merino or anything like that. Sorry, any mohair. It's sometimes quite hard to find sweater patterns out there that is made for the gauge I will get with these ones. So my plan is to take measurements of my favorite sweater that I wear every day and see if I can replicate that. So that means that I have casted off one project, but I have plans for, let's see, a vest, 2 sweaters, 2 t-shirts that I'm also gonna try to design myself. Then perhaps some upcoming like gift knits, some tank tops, at least one. Yeah. I need to finish that jacket, I think, so I can free my needles and cast on some new projects. That was everything I wanted to share for this week. Thank you so much for watching. My plan for this podcast series is to do them at least once every other week. Sometimes it will be every week, but at least every other week. And I also have some other things that I would like to sprinkle in between. I have a lot of ideas. We will see what happens with them. But yeah, for now I just think this is very fun. I think knitting is very fun and I enjoy to talk about knitting. Once again, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would be so happy if you press the like button, and I would be super happy if you wanted to join my journey and my knitting podcast here at the channel. I wish you a great day and happy knitting. Thank you.